Do you think he's listening or asking? Today, we'll talk about how to position ourselves favorably in negotiations. Giving the other individual the impression that we have influence over them is how we do this. What then is the control illusion? Specifically, a state in which an individual believes they are in control and have power, while in reality they do not. How then can you create the appearance of control? It's extremely easy. Just ask questions that include the what and how components. What, why, and how. Since everyone enjoys asking this question about what to say and how to act as though we appreciate the other person. And lastly, we may benefit when the individual we are speaking with describes what and how he will feel intelligent. However, asking why will make the other person defensive, so avoid doing that. If someone asks us why, we'll feel questioned and accused. For instance, asking our client why they asked us to provide the goods in 3 weeks makes the person we are speaking with feel suspicious and guilty. However, if we inquire, "What's up, sir? 3 more weeks?" he will respond, "Maybe he can't pay for our product in 3 weeks, or perhaps the goods will be used in 3 weeks," among other explanations. We will then talk about using empathy to manipulate our opponents, specifically by making our adversaries feel sympathy for us. Why? Because sometimes our customer or the person we are speaking to asks us multiple questions and we are unable to respond, or because the person is being pushy and doesn't want to see our predicament. It is as easy as just asking, "It's how to that, sir." As an illustration, I have a client. Despite not being a well-known EO, he happens to be one, and a lot of people use his services. When he was consulting with me one day, I asked him, "Bro, why is your financial report in the red?" He explained that he had been working on about 5 projects or events that month without getting paid at all. He said that it would be paid off at the beginning of the month, but after working on the 6th project, he began to feel pressured to fulfill his obligations to the well-known discotheque in London. A well-known discotheque asked my client to become an EO at a few of their events. He worked on about 5 projects or events that month, but he hasn't received any payment at all. He promised that the money would be paid back at the beginning of the month, but by the time he finished the 6th project, he was beginning to worry that he wouldn't be able to complete it because his capital had run out, so he finally came to me for advice. Or, "Do you think we could pay off the remaining amount next month after paying for half of it now, sis?" It's clear from their reaction that they are embarrassed as well as genuinely sad for my customer. They are ashamed by their lack of organization and professionalism, which makes them unclear and dehumanizes my client. And by manipulating their empathy, they at last acknowledge the need to humanize my client as well. "Sir, aside from empathetic behavior, how can I do that?" "Do that, sir." "How do I handle this problem, sir?" "What will happen if I do that, sir?" These 3 questions essentially mean the same thing, but they can have 3 different impacts. If you ask these questions in a problem-solving situation, you can get the other person to look at the situation from 3 different angles and take our query seriously, which will lead to them providing us with information. What is useful to us? Aside from that, what and how else can we use this for in different contexts? For instance, how will this project move forward if we have an agreement? How can I tell if you're not just trying to get a free consultation and are actually serious? How have you handled other business discussions in the past? That's the point, okay? That concludes our class for today. Have you ever worked on this project before? Remember to subscribe, like, and share.